this one, yeah. Yeah, so people were making fun. It's fine.
Try to fix it.
At the same time? Yes. So this is my studio. My name is Berglind Hlinsdóttir. I'm from Iceland, and I'm actually currently working as an artist in Brazil. Recently moved there. And so I was just going to let a slideshow of my older work play here, because my open studio is tomorrow in the center of the city at the kiosk, which is a Litva Spalda, in front of... So in front of Maxima. And so the project is actually kind of connected to this project that I made in Brazil, which is called Maintaining Liberty. And I've been interested in the question of maintenance within society, like the function of maintenance with maintaining ideologies within society and maintaining life and making decisions of what places we keep and what monuments we create. So this specific project is a lot about history. And it's about the kind of the fiction of history. So I like myself, I did a kind of research project on Nida and built on other research projects that I've done and created a text which is kind of playing with the history of Nida, but it's of course my perspective. So it's kind of a historical fiction. And in this project here, Nida, it will be this Litva Spalda who is going to talk from himself. So he kind of finally has a voice and is going to talk about what he thinks about what has been happening here. And he travels very far back in time, and then he travels to the kind of future. Being a clone that I am makes me wonder about reality. Standing here on this sand spit between two battling bodies of water far enough from the mothership to lose somewhat of my allegiance, I wonder about my own reality and being. Sometimes I wish I was built into a real timeline, that I was something other than this postmodern time-traveling imposter. But my historical camouflage comes with a good imagination and an inbuilt time machine. I read enough history to know that everything is relative, and after reading the news every day of my constructed life, I feel that the public memory is lacking, and in the everyday and local existence. Yes, maybe we are just grains of sand in some giant's ocean, and our smallest organic components do mimic images of large and vast galaxies, in the way that they might make us think that the infinitely small and the infinitely big are somehow just the same mumbo-jumbo. No matter how small and short of time we are in the vacuum of history, to our own senses always play the leading roles as we draw breath and take steps through our possible landscapes. And to be continued in Lithuanian tomorrow.
That's most of it. Like that. This is a replay of an exhibition that we made. We built this room into the exhibition, and there was 3 frames in the room itself that are also here now, which is the marriage certificate, and then there is the residency application of Bita Razavi also in the wall. So the point is to play with this kind of idea of the fake marriage as something that gives permission to stay in a country, or and there is all these other elements also. So this is a bureaucratic, alienated, marriage.
Okay, so this is one of the collaborations we have done together with Jaakko, and there was another one that if we have time we will show it, otherwise we will just go to some kind of brief explanation of what we're going to make here, the project we're going to make here. And this project also is going to be a collaboration, and we started with the idea of, we were interested both in radio dramas, so yeah, we thought about, do you want to continue?
Well, I don't know what we can still really talk about the radio piece still, but like their idea was that we were thinking about this kind of like propaganda use of the radio that is not actually propaganda, but jamming of radio. That like that is like there is this kind of there is two songs that are irritating that were like sent out to over the Russian border in the Second World War, and they're really somehow weird. There is this kind of like weird nationalism related still to these songs, and we were thinking about some kind of like making some kind of replica of this kind of thing and talking about that.
Those two songs are, one of them is, there is the story that they're in this area between, that actually Finland and Russia had war for. The Russians put some mines that were sensitive, or they were supposed to be activated with some particular chords, some particular frequencies. And then, I don't know exactly yet how, but Finns started to transmit this one song for
that had all the chords.
That had all those chords that those mines were sensitive to for as a counter plan. And yeah, one of them has the name of which lake? This lake here, which is Eldankajärvi,
and then there is another one that is about Säkkijärvi. They're both lakes that they are completely, unknown for Finnish. There is nothing like that relates to actually all of the landscape and everything is completely foreign. But it has this huge, kind of nostalgia or like signification of that. And we are like in a way interested in that over-determination, of these places that are completely we assume that this is now the lake, but we don't have to see the whole thing, but this is like a classic, round pose, but like it's there.
I've been making books and stuff, so you'll have to like read through things, so you can't really see it from that far away. Don't be shy. The work I've been making is kind of about communication and about the three parts of the communication process. So for someone to basically get a message across to someone else, you need to have the one person who comes up with the idea, or someone who delivers the idea. Then you have the message, and then you have the person who accepts it, or the audience basically of the recipient of the message. So that means that I've been kind of trying to see if the whole delivering a message works if you eliminate one part of the process every time. So that means that my work is basically in three parts. There's the zines, or these little books, which are everywhere. And those are, I've just been putting them up on the internet for people to print them out. Or I've been leaving them in buses and ferries or wherever. So that means that I've basically eliminated the audience, or the audience exists, but I don't know who they are. And then there's the second part, which is these little cards, which I've been kind of calling them, I've been calling them kiintymyskortti in Finnish as opposed to käyntikortti. So that means basically, instead of calling them business cards, I've been calling them kind of like attachment cards. So if you, for example, see someone cute at a bar and you want to tell them that they're cute, you give them a cute card and they might never know who it's from. So that's basically eliminating the first part of the communication equation. And then there's going to be a third part, which I haven't started working on that yet. But that's basically going to be eliminating the message. So I will be delivering a message and you will be receiving it, but I won't know what the message is. which means that I've been looking lots into like ciphers and coded messages and like that sort of thing. So yeah, you can come through and have a look at all the books.
So yeah, I'm John Grisnik, down for 2 months from Estonia. And I'm mainly working with sound, but I do have some visual elements to the work I do. So the idea is for me to kind of collect sounds from the surrounding environment, but not only just collecting sound, but also making small interventions and temporary interventions and kind of documenting these things. So mainly right now I'm just collecting material. So here I have some different objects I've been collecting and working with. And the idea is that these objects are somehow sort of raw material for what I'm doing. So you can see, I mean, for me it's not interesting that it's a stone, but what the stone does as an object for these things here. Each one has its own characteristic. Or for example, finding these things, combinations of things. So that's a kind of base material to work with. And I'm also, I enjoy collaborating with people, so I'm trying to get people, contacts I have in the region here, people I know who I want to work with, also to take the same ideas and maybe interpret. So my first guest, Georgis Sakilaru, has been here for a couple of days, and we've been having some really nice excursions around and also long discussions. And then also connected to this, which is again, because there's a radio station, I decided also we could make some series of radio programs in order to kind of make a sort of public dialogue about this as well.
All of the works more or less relate to architecture and the way that architecture is entwined with economic structures. So I'm going to show you documentation right now for a project that I completed with a research and publishing organization that I'm just gonna, So I started this project a few months ago, and it took place in New Zealand. And so this is documented. What I'm going to show you first is documentation from the exhibition that took place in Dunedin called To Scale Everyday Sovereign. So basically we created a space that would echo embassy lounges. Part of our investigations with this space is looking into contested political spaces, in particular micronations. So this project really looked into micronations as models for other political entities. So for this project, we had an exhibition that acted as a kind of embassy lounge, and for which we received a lot of contributions in the form of publications from people we knew. And so there was also another component of the project which took place online, which is a website that I updated regularly throughout the course of the exhibition. and which contained a lot of information from people in micronations. And so
Kopų tramdytojas su ištisa kariauna dirbti pasiruošusių ar priverstų rankų, pradeda mediniais koliukais skirstyti kopų paviršių į stačiakampius plotelius. Vėliau perpina juos spygliuočių šakomis ir kiekvieno plotelio viduryje iš tų koliukų padaro X ženklą. Stebint iš aukštai, atrodo, kad jis rengiasi sužaisti milžinišką kryžiukų ir nuliukų partiją. Šitaip smėlio užpustytos kopos buvo atkastos ir apdėliotos iš toli atgabenta šlapia dirva. Joje buvo pasėta žolė, o vėliau pasodinti medžiai, tokie kaip daniškos nykštukinės pušys Pinus montana, kurios dabar dengia kopas tarsi gražus žalias megztinis, o jų šaknis yra įsikibusios ir įsipynusios į žemės paviršių. Tokia buvo kultūrinio kraštovaizdžio pradžia. Dabar sutramdytos kopos stovi kaip paminklas pačios savo ir savo ardomajai veiklai, sudėtingai praeičiai, sustilusios laike, tarsi didžiulės bangos nuotraukoje, o jų paviršius susiuva tarpusavėje pušaitės imigrantės. Kultūrinis kraštovaizdis yra tiek paminklas kopų tramdytojo pasiekimams ir visom rankom, padėjusim jam susiūti kopas į vieną vietą, tiek paminklas neišmanimui, prieš tai leidusim jom pasiusti, išvedant iš pusiausvyros visą ekosistemą. Kartais man patinka galvoti, kad kopas yra užslėpti jūros štormai, tik sustingę ir suvaržyti laikę, kad vėliau galima būtų paleisti juos siautėti. Savo viduje nešiodami miestus ir artefaktus, jie jau suėdė juos ir yra pasiruošę išspjauti, kai tik pastebės, kad niekas jomis nesirūpina. Esu toskas, todėl negaliu susilaikyti nesugretinęs jų istorijos su tuo, kaip šiuolaikiniai žmonės elgiasi su gamta, kadangi vis labiau ir labiau ryškėja klimato kaita. Orai siautėja, masiškai migruoja gyvūnai ir vabzdžiai, nesugebėję prisiderinti prie savo buvimo arealų. Aš jau pražilau prieš laiką, skaitydamas tuos begalinius korporacijų verslininkų ir spekuliantų plepalus. Diskusijoje apie klimatą jie susivienijo prieš 99% mokslininkų.